welcome to Step It Up. I'm Helene.
And I'm Penelope.
We're a mother-daughter duo. And we are
empowering the overweight to overcome.
Every day in every way because we are stepping it up. Today we wanted to talk about sugar.
Dun, da, da, da.
Sugar! Oh my gosh. This is a big topic.
This is a huge topic.
People love sugar.
Yeah.
It's no joke. I mean, you're either like on it or you're off it.
Literally.
And I've worked with so many thousands of people over the last almost 30 years, and it's like there's no middle ground on it. Like, trust me, I've tried to negotiate every which way with sugar. Like, oh, there's maple syrup. Oh, there's coconut sugar. Oh, what about yakan syrup? Or maybe sunchoke syrup? Or what about stevia? Or during the time, aspartame, right? Dangerous.
No!
Danger zone. Yeah. So, I mean, like, it's either on or off it, so it's an addictive substance, folks. In case you didn't know, it's an addictive substance. In case you didn't know, it's an addictive substance.
We're the ones in the back.
No, I'm really serious. Let's just set aside the fact that like the whole industry is corrupt and there's like a monopoly and it's like, this whole conspiracy theory, like that all aside. Like if you're on sugar, you're definitely going to be aging prematurely. Your immune system is going to be weakened. You're going to be in the neurobiology of your brain is going to be in addiction mode. That means you're going to crave foods that are sweet and you're going to be stuck on that roller coaster. High blood sugar, low blood sugar, high blood sugar, low blood sugar. And you're just going to keep craving. Like the bacteria in your gut are going to be telling your brain to eat more sugar, eat more pastries, eat more sweets, eat more candy, drink more soda. It's like this thing, it just overtakes you. It's crazy.
And I had no idea that when I was 300 pounds and that was why, but it's because I got addicted to sugar. And I just constantly craved sugar and I constantly craved ice cream and pastries like you're saying. And now I'm like, oh, that's why I wanted more and more and more and more and more. Because it was addicting. Like I couldn't not have it.
It is a slippery slope. And I'm telling you right now, like if you're on the sugar train, get off it. And like, it's not easy to get off it. It's not, but 3 days and you have freedom. Like it might be 5 days. You might feel body aches. You might be grumpy. You might feel tired. You might feel those cravings. But guess what? Those bacteria in your gut, they die off. Your brain restores itself and you can finally tap into what your body actually needs, not what the sugar needs to stay alive. Or the sugar feeding bacteria is really what it is. They say that it's likened to cocaine. But it's easier to get off of than cocaine, right? Apparently.
Yeah, and I want to say something about that because I was thinking about this the other day because I feel like balance is this new word in my generation at least that I constantly see on social media. You'll see these videos of these girls doing like their lifestyle vlogs on Instagram and YouTube, and it's like they're in the gym 5 days a week, exercising, super healthy, and then on the weekends they're getting drunk, partying, and eating cheeseburgers and pizza, and they call that balance. Or you'll see the other people who do a mix of both. So they'll have like a glass of wine every night, but then they're eating salads all day. Or maybe they'll have like one thing of fries a week. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because that's still enabling this addiction. It's just lessening it. And when you go to somebody who has a cocaine addict, once they get over their addiction, they never do cocaine again, right? So it should be the same thing with sugar because you don't tell a cocaine addict, you can have a little bit of cocaine for breakfast, but no more for the rest of the day. And I correlate those two because I'm like, wait, that makes perfect sense because to me, it's not a balanced lifestyle to just party and like get drunk and then eat like a bunch of cheeseburgers and then the next day you're in the gym. That doesn't sound balanced to me.
Yeah, no, I hear where you're coming from. And like if you're in Alcoholics Anonymous or any kind of recovery program from drugs or alcohol, you do. You're just like, you leave it off the table and you just don't do it, right? You don't look at it, you don't hang out with people that do it, you don't put yourself in those surroundings, but food is a little different. Because you got to eat all day, every day. You can't just leave food off the table. That's why Overeaters Anonymous, their abstinence starts day one with no flour, no sugar, because they know that it's an addictive substance. It's not just them that says it, right? It's a known fact that sugar and flour, most white powders, by the way, are addictive substances. I mean, it's like not that like hard to correlate the two.
I love that. That's good.
But you know, they do say there is this idea in the eating, you know, behavioral science and the food recovery programs at McLean's and all the famous places, that restrictive eating leads to like binge eating. So if you're overly restrictive, it's gonna like, you know, rear its ugly head on the other side. It's like that game, I don't know if any of you know that game, Whack-A-Mole.
Yeah.
Like where the mole keeps popping its head up and you're like whacking it down. And that's kind of like a sugar addiction, you know, it's like Whack-A-Mole. It's like, oh, well, you push it down here, but it pops up over here. And it's like until you get to the underlying root of why you want sugar in the first place, it's not going away. It's a Whack-A-Mole game. Whether you're doing it in moderation or you're doing it in excess or you're trying to balance it, it's like you got to get to the root. It's like oftentimes when you're craving that sweetness, you actually need a hug.
Exactly.
Or you need like a really good conversation with your, you know, daughter or your mother or a friend. Or you need like, I don't know, some touch. You know, like maybe get a massage. During COVID, like everybody was isolated, you know, and everyone was getting overweight. And it's like we reach for food to satisfy these other hungers that are deeper inside of us.
Like, what are you really hungry for?
Yeah, that's the question here. And it'll be a lot easier to find out what you're really hungry for if you leave sugar off the table. Because you'll get the neurobiology, the hippocampal pathway will be clear enough for you to be able to feel into that. Because you won't have it masked. Because when you eat the sugar, you're like masking it. And then you're stuffing it inside. And it's really not the best way to live. So there's like, you know, there are a lot of different sides to this equation. But I guarantee you, it's 3 days. If you decide to leave sugar off the table, you just say, I'm just going to go for it. Drink lots of water, take vitamin C, talk to your doctor if you want to, if you feel like that's necessary. I'm not a medical professional. But like you just leave it off the table for 3 days, and you will see on the energy start to reemerge, the vitality, the depth in your sleep, the cravings will become less. You just have to, but you also have to see where it's hiding. Like it's in everything.
It's in everything.
Remember when you first started, I made you like read the cereal labels.
Since I was a kid, I'd be like, Mommy, can we get this cereal? And she would be like, what are the first 3 ingredients? And I was like, sugar. And she was like, no. Put it back. And it was like, so
you had to study the cereal aisle.
I literally, and now when I'm looking for cereal, I have to make sure it doesn't have any sugar in it or any flour in it. And that's very hard because another thing I wanted to say to you about this topic was it's very, to me, there are 2 types of ways you can go about like never eating sugar or flour. But I actually don't feel good when I eat sugar and flour.
I know, you feel horrible.
So I feel horrible. Now I would say I'm allergic to it. And there's like this thing when people are like allergic to something, they just don't eat it. So I'm like wondering, can people change their psychology if they say, I think I'm allergic to sugar, bread, and alcohol?
Yeah, because you have a reaction to it.
And dairy.
Yeah, my reaction is I get mean, I get hangry, I get like, I don't know, I feel low on energy.
You feel like it's a hangover, and you feel like a potato the next day, like so inflamed.
Gosh, yeah.
My face gets like a red tomato. It's insane. It's like, who are you?
And if you have chronic pain, you'll have that inflammation
forever,
like massively. If you are prone to getting diseases, you will have that. You'll start to feed into your diabetes potentiality, heart disease potentiality. I mean, there's like so many things that I just don't see much positive stuff coming out of eating sugar because I feel like if you truly understand and love yourself, you want to be eating foods that give you energy and vitality, not foods that are taking energy and vitality away from you. And in the sugar equation, it's not a reciprocal relationship, honestly. Yeah. Like, you're not really getting much out of it.
Right.
It's leaving you in an addictive loop and putting you on a roller coaster. And so I just don't see like why I want to be in that relationship. Like, it's not loving, it's not kind, and it doesn't lead to good places. So that's my take on it.
So what is your final take on balance? Like, how do you think someone can live a balanced lifestyle without eating sugar and bread? Because in society, it's like, if you're not eating sugar and bread and that's not balance. People think it's too restrictive. So like, what's your take on that?
I think that what's loving is the most important thing. And when I say that, it's about what's loving towards yourself. I don't know anybody that can go out and like eat a cake from a grocery store and feel good once their taste buds, their physiology and their biology have shifted into a healthy state. They literally, it makes them feel sick. So that's not a kind thing to do. And if you want to commit to shifting yourself into a healthier physiology, biology, and mental state of being,
I love that. Yeah.
then you need to start the process. And I think in that process is a step up, every day. You could do it gradually. You could also just go cold turkey, which I'm a huge fan of, which means like just stop eating it.
I love cold turkey.
Although stepping it up does mean like, hey, maybe replacing your white sugar with brown sugar, and maybe taking your brown sugar to maple syrup, and then taking your maple syrup to stevia, right? So you can step in steps start to experiment, slowly changing. And it gets a little more difficult to find things sweetened with stevia or sweetened with maple syrup. You start first step is really paying attention to where sugar's hiding in your sauces, in your yogurts, in your dressings, in any packaged foods at restaurants, like where, what's in those pastries you're eating. Like first step is observing, like where is sugar hiding in my life? Where is sugar in my life? Okay, and then what is it going to take to leave it off the table, leave it out of the equation? And then that's when you have to get into like finding new recipes. Like, oh, I'm used to the instant oatmeal that has sugar in it. What do I do? Right? So you got to like start doing research, and then you just step by step start finding replacements. And then you find things you love. Like occasionally I will make some raw chocolate because I love the healing benefits of raw chocolate. And so we put a little bit of sugar in it, right? We use dates, instead of maple syrup, we use dates, right? So it's about like finding yourself step by step in a loving way in a relationship that has reciprocity.
I love that.
Yeah, so
that's balance. Like having some dates is a balance. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, like there's sugar in vegetables, right? You're getting glucose from vegetables, and you're getting fructose from fruits. So you actually are getting plenty of sugar in your diet. That is, if you're not like on a ketogenic diet, which is no carbohydrates at all. And carbohydrates are a whole other topic. But we're talking today, when we talk about sugar, it's like white sugar, cane sugar,
brown sugar.
Even brown sugar, yeah. But I mean, I think it's important that we just start to see where is it in my life, and then what is it going to take to change it? Yeah. Like, what am I going to drink? If I like Dr. Pepper, then what am I going to drink? I don't recommend drinking anything with aspartame or eating anything with Splenda or aspartame. They are very dangerous for your health. And if you don't believe me, that's fine. Look it up.
Or you can use me as a testimonial, because I was drinking and eating a lot of things with aspartame, and I started to notice brain malfunctions after drinking them consistently for 2 years.
Yeah.
So I'm actually a testimony. I did aspartame at 15 years old, and I was feeling side effects.
Wow. I mean, excitotoxins, they're called. You can look it up. They literally excite your brain cells to death. They cause Alzheimer's disease. So folks, really, if you're on aspartame, think again about whether or not that's a smart decision. There's plenty of stuff on the market now with stevia in it.
Did you know that there are dietitians out there that will literally tell people to drink Coke Zero? That's balance, that you should be able to have it in your life no matter what?
I think aspartame is a dangerous chemical, and I would counsel anyone that I cared about to exclude it from their lives.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
So we care about you, and we care about your mind, we care about your body, we care about your future health. And we want you to have freedom. And sugar doesn't really belong in the equation.
Or flour.
When it comes to freedom. So we think that we actually would love to share a lot of recipes with you.
Yeah, if you want the recipes, you can just email us and we can talk to you about some.
Yeah, or give us your email address, because like Penelope's developed some amazing recipes, like those cookie dough balls.
Oh, so good!
You made like brownies the other day that were like
chickpea brownies.
Unbelievable.
No sugar, no eggs.
Oh my gosh.
No flour.
I mean, unreal. So like, it's not like we're not eating things that are delicious and sweet.
I recently made this apple cinnamon swirl bread.
Oh my gosh. Amazing.
Oh my gosh.
So listen, folks, we're not saying like don't have joy and don't have the flavor sweet in your life. We're just saying
have more joy.
Yeah, have more joy, more abundance, but like not with the sugar equation. Not with that sugar.
You don't need that sugar.
Yeah, so we're talking about whole fruits, whole vegetables, finding ways to like really make delicious. We even make ice cream.
Oh,
we make ice cream sweetened with dates out of coconut milk.
Oh
it's like off the hook.
So good.
Yeah, and we make like all kinds of amazing stuff, like strawberry milkshakes. Like we make all kinds of amazing stuff.
Buckwheat pancakes.
Yes, with
Oh
stevia
my
sweetened
gosh.
chocolate chips.
I mean, guys.
It just goes on and on and on.
Come on. What are you doing? Go email us. Come on. What are you doing?
Yeah, so we want to like guide you on this journey together. We want to do it together and share recipes and all the fun and abundance that's available to us inside of sweetness. But not in the equation that's a non-reciprocal relationship.
Yeah.
All right, so thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening.
Comment, like us,
Share, subscribe. Comment down below what you want to see more of, and we will see you next week.
See you all the time.